Hello Capricorn, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. This reading is totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And you are the magician. I feel like you're a very intelligent person. You probably got pretty good grades in school, you know? I feel like maybe you know more than one language, or you have different ways of communicating to the world, okay? The magician is someone who can cause change and conformity with their will. I feel like you know how to get things done. You know how to talk to people. You know how to sell yourself. You know how to express yourself in a way that can, influence other people. Maybe you're a, what do they call it, like an influencer, you know? I feel like you have a unique way of thinking. You probably, you probably know things before they even happen, right? I think there have been some occasions in your life where you've predicted things and people look at you like, how did you know? And you just kind of shrug and say, well, maybe you're even able to predict the way movies are going to sort of go, like the plots of movies, or like you can finish other people's thoughts and their words, like in, their sentences. Because I feel like you have an ability to kind of see ahead of time. Yeah. Just a little bit of clairvoyance, I think, but it's kind of like, it's more in the moment, if that makes sense. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, and let's see what you're doing with your magic right now. We've got an 8 of Cups. I think you're getting happy. I think you're recognizing the things in life that don't work for you, that don't feel good to you. Here we have an Emperor, we have a Hierophant, we have the Art card. Are we going to do one more major arcana? No. We have change. You're causing change. You're causing change in conformity with your will. Okay? That's magic. Now, where this is coming from is going to be very important, because we do have this Hierophant back here. Sometimes the Hierophant is the feeling that we still need instructions. That we still need somebody that's giving us the wisdom, right? Rather than realizing that we have the wisdom within us. So we're not asking anybody else what to do. Maybe we were at one point. Right now we're asking ourselves, capital S, true self. So here's the Queen of Pentacles. There's the 8 of Swords. 8 of Cups, 8 of Swords. We have the High Priestess and 4 of Wands. Completing a process, completing a cycle. Perhaps it has to do with our 8 of Swords, 8 of Cups, right? Identifying those things that are restricting our joy in life, restricting our sense of peace, our sense of happiness. I think when we have these 3 cards here and we take them as a trinity, I think we're identifying things that are restricting us, that are keeping us contained and confused and holding us back, really. And we're putting an end to those things. We're rearranging our life a little bit. We are redecorating. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. Let's set it down right here with Michael Scott right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this program you feel like you might know what that card is, please put your prediction down in the comments. Okay? Let's take a look around the room. A lot of majors today, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana energies. We got fire, you got water, you got air, and you got earth. So it's pretty balanced in terms of the elements, but there are, like I said, a lot of majors. Okay. And with the major arcana energy in abundance, it feels like this is really this is a shift in your energy, a shift in your kind of spiritual alignment. Okay, I think it's you're learning to trust in yourself more. You're learning that you don't have to do the same things that everybody else does. You don't have to do the same things that that you have always done. You don't have to. You don't have to sort of agree with the Hierophant anymore. This is the energy that's behind you. We're going to start here today. Because the Hierophant to me feels like it's a teacher. It feels like it is somebody outside of you giving you the wisdom, giving you the information, right? And that's what the Hierophant is. It's wisdom coming from outside. It's school. It's help from somebody who is superior to you, right? So it may be that there has been in the past this feeling that you weren't adequate, that you weren't up to snuff, that you didn't know everything, and so we had to rely on somebody else. This is like we always have to go and ask the teacher, am I doing this right? We have to ask the boss, is it okay if I do this? We got to ask our parents, is it okay if I want to do this? Like, am I doing it right? Like we're looking for approval, right? I think you're moving out of this energy. You're realizing that you don't need approval or confirmation. You don't need guidance from anybody any longer. Okay? There's a risk in that, right? Because we want to always be a student. You know, we want to be lifelong learners, right? I think that's part of our magician energy. But recognizing that we don't have to sort of, conform to these instructions or take our orders or get our approval from this energy any longer, I think is very liberating. Okay? In a way, this is, let's say, the school. We've read the textbook, we graduated from school, but now we're actually out in the field doing the work, right? Maybe you're in the medical field, because this is what I always think of when I see the Hierophant and the Magician. I think they teach you one thing in school, but when you're out in the field, it's a completely different ballgame. Completely different ballgame. And that's the Eight of Cups. It's kind of saying like, look, it's different out here. It's different when you're really out here doing it now. So I feel like you're kind of, you're taking all of the wisdom from the Hierophant. You're saying, thank you, I appreciate it. I've got to go learn by immersing myself in this. And I got to learn through experience. I got to learn by doing it. I'm not going to know what I like until I'm out here in the world living. We may be taught certain things, and certain things are fundamental. Like, okay, you got to know that 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, great. But what about things that aren't, factual? What about things that are just like opinions, that, well, it's important that you go down that road in life or that road in life. And, I think that we're sort of brought up that way. Maybe this is a family kind of thing, maybe some kind of generational stuff. Maybe this is about culture or upbringing. Okay? And I think you're realizing that you would rather go your own way and struggle a little bit and figure things out on your own than to just conform to what everybody else has done. There's no genius here. Okay? This is, the magician can stand on the shoulders of giants, but if we don't break away from that energy at all, and we stay here, you're not standing on the shoulders of the giants. You're just a normal-sized person in the company of giants, right? Eventually, we have to realize our own power and say, I'm going my way. I'm going to do things in my own unique way. It's the artist that is learning from another artist or in art school or something. Eventually, you have to go and figure out your own style. You have to use your own voice. So we need the education of the Hierophant. We need, whether we need it or not, it was there. It's kind of like when we're raised by our whoever raises us, parents or whatever, grandparents. We didn't necessarily ask for that, but it's there. It's stuff that we've been taught. Okay? This was all the wisdom coming from outside of us. I feel like the magician is now saying, I need to go figure out what part of that was true. I need to go figure out how I feel about all of that. I need to go get that wisdom for myself now, because this is Mercury. Mercury is the wisdom. Okay? It is the wisdom coming from your highest self. And I feel like this is us figuring out who we are and why we're here and who we're not. Okay? And the things we're not here to do, not here for. Okay? Even though for a long time, maybe we're kind of taught that we are a certain way, and I think that family, I think history, I think just everything in everything in the past has sort of tried to reinforce this particular view of who we are and why we're here. I think you're saying, I want to go find out for myself. Yeah, in some aspect. Maybe this is school, maybe this is at work, maybe this is on a spiritual path. This could be an organized religion. This could be a culture. This could be a family culture or a larger, culture. This could be some traditions. I think that if this is a religious tradition or a magical order or any kind of, really any organized anything, right? It's sort of it's your right and almost your duty to try to emerge from that with your own genius. It's kind of the outer orders are there to find the chosen ones, to find the ones that can rise above kind of everything else. Does that make sense? So in a way, I do feel like you're finding your own voice here. And I feel like to do that, you got to go into the pressure cooker. You're taking yourself out into the field. Again, this is like you got the education, but now you want to be unique. You want to find your own voice, your own path. You want to use your own will. You don't want to be like everybody else. This is a cookie cutter kind of thing. This is everybody else that's at art school, right? Only a few of these real magicians are going to emerge from that. Okay. A lot of people go to business school. Not everybody has, a successful business. So I feel like there's something different about you. Okay? And I think you're a bit of a nonconformist. Not as a rebellion, not just to be contrary, but you're the person that says, I don't mind doing what you do if that's the way to do it, but I need to go learn it for myself. I want to have my wisdom through experience rather than just being taught what's what. So we have the art or temperance card up top, and that's the pressure cooker. That is the tests and trials of life. That is the anvil in the blacksmith's shop. And you're saying, okay, I need to go out and test myself. This is what I learned in school. I need to go out into the real world and see if it's true. See how I feel about it. Because there's something that's dissatisfying about this education, if you want to call it that, programming, the tradition, the culture. You're going to be building upon that. You're not content to just be here and say, yeah, I'm just going to do what everybody else does. You're taking this and you're going to go one step further. You're going to innovate. You're going to use your own inherent genius to go a little bit beyond the limitations of this. Okay. So you're sort of going independent here. And you're going into the pressure cooker where you are going to be shaped and molded into the person that you're meant to become. Your wisdom and understanding are going to be shaped and molded by real life experiences, not by something you read in the book. Okay, staying here is going to be the armchair magician, right? The armchair professor, the one who professes the knowledge. You're the one that's out here gaining that wisdom and knowledge through your experience, okay? And it's going to be a mixed bag. And you understand that you're not going to be satisfied until you go out and do that. You need to go into the fire, right? So you need your willpower. You're somebody with a tremendous will, and I think that good luck trying to get you to do anything you don't want to do, Capricorn. And I think that anybody telling you the right way to do something, you kind of say, oh yeah? Oh yeah? And you're going to go and, I guess there is a little bit of a rebellion in you in that sense, but you're going to go find your own way. Okay? You're going to see for yourself. You don't take anybody else's word for things, right? Yeah. July is a very important month for you. I don't know what's happening in July. Spirit's telling me to mention July. Something, I don't know if there's a gift or something's coming in July for you. Something related to money or finances. Okay. You have this confidence about you. You're taking charge of your own life. The Emperor is kind of saying, okay, well, I appreciate your guidance, advisor, friendly advisor, but I need to make my own decisions about how to handle my life, about what I want to do, So we need that authority. We need to realize that, no, you're the boss. You do not have to just conform to what we've been taught. We don't have to do the same things that we've always done. We don't have to live the same life that our parents lived or that our friends are living or that we're taught is supposed to be the life for us. Okay? Maybe this is, we're taught that we have to sort of grow up and work hard and have goals and achieve goals and always be striving. Maybe you're saying, you know what, I'm dissatisfied with that kind of a life. That I don't know what I want to do yet. Maybe you're graduating from high school, maybe you're graduating from university, and you're saying, I don't know that that's really what I want to do with my life. I need to go out and live life and experiment and have success and have failures. I need to have joy. I need to have suffering to figure out who I am and what I'm all about. Yeah. And this is that sovereignty. This is the right. This is the power that you have to be the authority of your own life. You can choose what you're doing with your magic. Okay? And I think that you're intelligent in the sense that you have an ability to learn and grow and adapt. That's the thing about the magician, is that the magician is very adaptable. The magician is very flexible. Okay, and yes, it's very possible for the magician to just become the mouthpiece, the echo, right? The echo of the Hierophant. And there may be a lot of truth in this Hierophant energy for you. But you want to find out for yourself. You're not going to be an echo. You're going to be speaking with your own voice. Okay? Even if it means you have to go through the swamp and a little bit of suffering and a little bit of dissatisfaction, you're understanding the things in your life that you don't just blindly accept. You're understanding the things that you want to change in life. You don't have to enjoy the same things that anybody else is enjoying. So the Two of Pentacles becomes our positive actions. We're taking proactive steps. We're making changes. I think your life is altering a little bit. Things are shifting in and out of your life. Okay? There's been an issue with your tooth recently. Yeah. I know, it's not the first time that's come up. I think the tooth is still bothering you. Maybe it needs to come out. There is an awareness that that change needs to be a constant thing. The Hierophant is too much of a fixed energy. The Hierophant says there's one way to do it, and this is the way, this is the only way, and this is the right way. And it's been like that for thousands of years, right? Well, the magician comes in and says, I'm shaking things up. I want to do something different. I want to change my life. I want to change myself. I know that I have to keep evolving and growing. So I think what you're looking at is, what things do I need to change in my life to bring me in a closer alignment with spirit, closer alignment with my true self, to bring me a sense of, I don't know, contentment or joy. Sometimes the Eight of Cups is this feeling like something's wrong. And I can't put my finger on it, but something's wrong. So I got to go out and I got to make some little adjustments. I got to turn some knobs, push some buttons, and see if I can fix it. And that's what we're doing. And this might have something to do with relationships. It might have something to do with just experimenting with new hobbies, new interests, new people, going and doing things we've never done before, putting some things down that we don't need to really play with anymore, you know. We're making changes, okay? We're learning from our experiences, and that's giving us an increase of wisdom so that we can further know what changes to make. Now, on the path of the serpent, we're going to talk about these cards. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Your Queen of Pentacles is your general energy. Okay, it's very earthy energy. I think that this is a very practical energy where we are looking at the past. We are looking at every twist and turn that our life has taken, and I think we're asking, who made those choices? Who made those decisions and why? Was it me? Was it true self, you know, capital S self, that made those choices? Was it ego consciousness that made those choices? And why? Do we make choices because of what we've been taught? Is every choice we make is just a program that's running in us? Is every choice that we've ever made because of the Hierophant? Because of the choices that we made yesterday? The choices that our parents made? The choices that our culture and society made? The choices that our ancestors made, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of years going back? Is it impossible for us to have any kind of autonomy? Is it impossible for us to be conscious and be a magician and make conscious, intentional changes in conformity with our will? Or is everything programmed for us? Is everything just a script that's running in our brains and our nervous system? Okay. So what I feel like we're doing here, I feel like this is some neuroplasticity going on. This is a mind, a brain that's fixed, doesn't do anything new, just keeps running the same old programs. But the magician represents the neuroplasticity. That it is through intentionally putting ourselves in a pressure cooker where we're forced to adapt and do something different, change our behaviors, we are growing in wisdom. We're literally changing our brains. Literally changing our brains. And it has to be a little bit uncomfortable. Because if it's not a pressure cooker, and we're not really doing anything different, all we're doing is reinforcing the Hierophant. We're reinforcing the programs that are already running in our consciousness. Okay? And I think the Queen of Pentacles is looking back and kind of a little bit shocked and thinking, wow, okay. Like that's kind of unbelievable. Everything I've ever done has just been a program that's running in my consciousness. Well, I want to do something different. The Two of Pentacles then becomes, I want to brush my teeth with the other hand. I'm going to tie my shoe the other way around. I'm going to wake up at a different time of the day. I'm going to sleep at the other end of the bed. Like just random, seemingly meaningless things to break the repetition of these programs. We're kind of stalking our own habits here, okay? And I think that this is one of the first things that we could do, and it is the simplest, may not be the easiest. We try to break with these habits. We try to identify things that we just keep doing, programs that we keep running, and throw a wrench in there. Well, I'm going to start eating dinner with the other hand. I'm going to start using my right hand now to shovel food into my face. I'm a lefty, and I like to eat. Just doing little things like this that kind of snap us out of the program, and it makes the brain kind of go, whoa, what's going on here? Danger, Will Robinson. Because it's not just the smooth operation that it usually is. So let's think, maybe you can leave some comments. What are some great ways that we can disrupt our habits in that kind of way? Little things that we can change, like tying our shoes differently, putting our pants on the other leg first, or brushing our teeth with the other hand. I think using our opposite hand is a great way to shift our energy, to shake things up, to sort of to start to wake up that sort of magician in us. We're realizing, well, I'm doing something intentionally now, and it feels weird, right? It feels 8 of Cups. It feels weird because I'm not used to brushing my teeth with my right hand. It's hard. But it's forcing us to kind of grow and evolve. And I really think using your opposite hand for tasks is a great way to do this. I'm a big fan of that. But let me know in the comments, what are some other ways that we can shake up our own habits and our own routines? I think waking up at a different time of the day, even if it's only a few minutes of a shift, something that we usually wake up and do right away, maybe we pause for 5 minutes. Maybe we set a timer that says, every couple hours or so, we just stop what we're doing and we take a couple of deep breaths just to snap ourselves out of whatever automatic task we were doing, right? Let me know in the comments what some other ways are that we could do this. We should make a collection. We should write all these down, and we should see how many of these we can implement. Yeah. The 8 of Swords is right along those same lines, because this is rumination. This is a figure 8. Well, just like this is a figure 8, right? It's an 8 of Swords. We just keep looping back in on the same thing. It's the same programs that keep running, and the more we run those programs, the deeper the groove in the carpet gets. We're just pacing a circle around and around and around. And it gets harder and harder to do anything differently. And then the Hierophant wins, right? And then we're just sort of, all of this stuff is ingrained in us, and we feel powerless. We feel hopeless and helpless and powerless. So I think that these little changes sort of build up to these bigger changes in life. Yeah. This is a card of rumination. Okay. This is a card of, if we really stop and look at it, we'll find that we keep thinking about the same things over and over again. That we keep coming back to the same thoughts, really the same, even the same just words and phrases that we repeat to ourselves. Yeah. We have to understand how our behavior is reinforcing our thoughts and how our thoughts reinforce our behavior. If we want to change our thoughts, we've got to change our behaviors, and vice versa. Okay. If we want to change our reality, first we have to change our thinking. If we want to change our thinking, we have to start changing our behaviors in those little ways that bring us to that awareness. Those little things, like just set an alarm clock on your phone for every couple hours just to wake us up, and in that moment ask ourselves, what was I just thinking about? Like literally, what were the words that were going through my head when that alarm rang, or you make your watch vibrate or something, right? Like what can we do to snap ourselves out of that thinking? We all get stuck in these loops. We don't even realize it. And I think what we do when we can snap ourselves out of that, the mental loop, right? We open up our intuition. We start receiving messages from the divine, from our true self. We really tap into that. This is the guide. This, the high priestess wants to take you to your best life. If the magician, Mercury, is the messenger, this is the message. Okay? And we've got to wake up the messenger so that the messenger can transmit the message to our consciousness. What is your own soul trying to tell you? Well, we don't know if we're stuck in a loop of feeling and a loop of thinking, right? The 8 and the 8. Thinking and feeling. We've got to do something to snap ourselves out of that so we can receive the message. And then we can really start redecorating our lives. Then it doesn't have to be as arbitrary as, I'm going to brush my teeth with my other hand, da-da-da. No, it can be really major things. Like, I'm really going to redecorate my life. I want to be different. I want my house to be different. I want my car to be different. I want my friends and family different. I want my life to be different. I want to make changes that are in conformity with my will. And this is kind of us completing that cycle. It's not that we are intending to do something, we sort of start it, but then it fizzles out, we never actually do it. This is saying, you know what, I'm going to plant those flowers in the front yard. And then guess what? I actually do. And they're there, they're planted, right? This is a change that we're implementing. And I do feel that this card is about some kind of redecorating of our lives, of our souls, really, right? That we want to feel differently, we want to think differently, we want to behave differently, we want to create a reality that is feels more authentic. Okay? We want to change our relationships, we want to change our behaviors, we want to change our work, we want to change our vision of the future. Okay? This is the card of completion. This is the card that says, not only do I intend to do it, and I start it, but I'm finishing it. If I say, okay, I'm going to, and this is all about, the sort of building up of willpower. It says, okay, at 5 o'clock, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have a glass of water. Guess what? 5 o'clock rolls around, you get up, you have the glass of water. So we can implement these new routines, new habits. We're all creatures of habit. So either way, the Hierophant's going to be there. Either way, we're teaching ourselves something, and it's going to become ingrained in us. We can't live a life of complete spontaneity every second of every day, never having any routines or any kind of programs running in our minds. So if we're going to be tied to a habit anyway, why not make it something positive? Why not make it something that I've chosen? Someone says, well, drinking water is good for you. Okay, well, let me find out. The Hierophant says, oh yeah, exercise is good for your heart. Okay, I'm going to find out. I'm going to test it. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to come to the conclusion myself. And if I agree, if it works for me, if it feels like it's right for me, then I'm going to make it an intentional habit. I'm going to implement it as part of my subconscious programming. Okay, but we can't let the world, program everything for us. We've got to take a little bit of initiative, and start working on that ourselves. Because we're going to have habits anyway. Might as well make them good habits, habits that we've chosen, habits that we are consciously aware of, and that are serving maybe our greater purpose. Let's look at the mystery card. What might we see here? I maybe want to see the Wheel of Fortune, maybe the universe, maybe the Empress. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. Yeah, Two of Pentacles. Change. Change. Right. Finding new ways that we can shift things around. What can we do differently than the way we've always been doing it? And I think that it's so much more obvious than we realize. I mean, it's just the way that we speak, the way that we stand up from a sitting position, the way that we yawn, right? The way that we greet people, the way that we smile. Everything is a habit. We started doing things a certain way, and that's how we've always been doing them. The magician is an energy that's very fluid, very flexible, a shapeshifter, a changeling, right? Never the same energy in any moment. So we need to observe ourselves a little bit, and see how we've been, just seeing how we can shift our behaviors to align us with that higher purpose, whatever it might be for you. Whoever you're trying to become, whatever person you want to become, it's more ubiquitous than we think. It literally is in everything. Our hand gestures, the looks, the expressions, the micro expressions. Everything is a habit that's been built up. Everything is a program. And that's just with these little quirks of behavior. These little quirks of movement and stuff. What about those deeper programs? The thoughts, the beliefs, right? The feelings, our reactions to the world, our interactions with the world. Anyway, let's do an extended reading, okay? We'll do an I Ching reading. We will do some oracle cards, okay? There's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Capricorn Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.